This over here is the main reason I hate that people prefer SUVs instead of sedans or estates or whatnot, because the brand new Volvo S60, especially in the R design model, is simply beautiful. I mean, come on, look at it. It's simply beautiful. And yes, you have this, you have the BMW 3 Series, the Audi A4 or the Mercedes C-Class. You have Jaguar XE, which is also amazing, but probably unreliable because it's a Jaguar. And then you have the Swedish version of a medium-sized sedan, and I'll take this any day. So for the base model, the core actually, because that's how it's called, the Volvo S60, the B3 one with 150 horsepower, starts at around 44,000 euros. And this one has been configured actually normal. This does not have all the quirks and features and gimmicks on it that usually press cars have. So this one is configured to around 53,000 euros. And given the fact that we are actually living in an economic crisis, another one, because this is my second one so far, and if you also think about its rivals, this is actually pretty correct for its price. But at the same time, you do get a lot of car and a lot of features as standard. So another big up for Volvo. As I said earlier, this is the R design model, so the sportier version of it. This one comes with a different grille that has horizontal lines, not vertical ones, and it's also blacked out everything except the Volvo logo itself. You also get a different bumper with piano black ornaments all over it, so this is a nice touch. And another thing at the R design model is this very tiny lip over here that continues on the side of the car, and it also comes all the way in the back. Wheels, we have 235/45 on 18-inch. They are diamond cut and they are actually pretty beautiful, especially with the two-tone color. We can see again blacked out ornaments, blacked out mirror caps. We do not have a panoramic moonroof, but we do have a sunroof, and this bit over here opens up and comes all the way here to the shark tail antenna. Of course, made in Sweden. And in the back we can see the stoplights. They respect the Volvo tradition, so we have the letter C. I don't know why C for Volvo, okay. C for safety maybe, I don't know. Volvo logo written over here, B4 S60, and one pretty interesting aspect. So down below we have the bumper interrupted by this piano black ornament over here. Then we have again another ornament in the color of the car, and lower we have the air tunnel that finishes up in a piano black. So I do like this color combination. It gives it a pretty nice and aggressive contrast. At the same time, we do not have quad exhausts, and these are fake, but inside you have the real exhaust, which are two, one on each side. So they're less fake than the fake ones you see on the market. And now that we are here, let's talk about the trunk, which is manually operated. So I haven't seen a manually operated trunk or boot or whatever you want to call it in a while. But things over here are actually quite simple and not at the same time. You will see in a minute. So you do not have a very big loading area, but it's very deep. So you have 440 liters approximate. It's like 430 something. You have one net here on the side and a 12-volt socket, which is more than you get on any sedan whatsoever. You have here a cap for the battery, and you do have access on the negative. Okay, usually you get access on the positive. And I do enjoy that the Volvo safety kit has these thingy-majigs. I have no idea how they're called, and you can just stick it over there and that's it, easy peasy. And underneath you have a spare wheel. Velcro. Yeah, the thingy-majig is called Velcro, I remember now. And here you have a spare wheel, and usually whenever you buy A Volvo, the spare wheel comes in the size, not the whole dimensions, just the size of the actual wheels, but this one doesn't, because we do have 18-inch alloys and this is a 19-inch tiny spare wheel. But yes, a lot of space over here at the same time, so you can hide a lot of your stuff. And now you stay with the camera over here, because I have something to show them. So you have two buttons over here, one to fold the headrest and one to fold the rear seats. But the buttons are only on this side, they're not over there. You have a lean loading ramp, which is nice, and this opens up completely. And at the same time, whenever you want to close the seats, the seat belt does not get stuck because it's completely separate. So that's another nice touch. Another pretty interesting aspect is that you do have a net for your rear window, but this is weird because this net is manual. I have never seen a manual net for the rear window ever. So if you cannot just change it while driving, except if you have, I don't know, a small goblin here in the back that can help you out. And now, sitting wise, my feet are very big, so I do have issues underneath the seat, but the seat is also in the lowest position. I do like the fact that you have mats even in the middle. This is a Volvo thing, and they've done it on all of the brand new cars right now. Two USB-Cs, but in the front you have USB-As because we have the old infotainment system, the Volvo Sensors, not the Google one, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. Couple of nets, very tiny pockets that can hold just 1.5 liter bottle of water, and that's it. And what I do enjoy is that the quality materials are the same as in the front. You have your soft foam over here, you have your plastic that is not scratchy plastic, it's just very nice to touch. You have foam here, you have textile, leather, and then even down here, this is not scratchy. The only difference between these two door panels, front and rear, is that you do not have soft materials inside the door pockets. Other than that, on the exterior bits, it's literally the same. So kudos to Volvo for having good quality materials all over the car. And here you have a very big and nice armrest. If you get the S90 or the V90, the bigger models, you also get a cap that you open here, so you have another storage compartment, but your cup holders are over here. So this is beautiful because you cannot actually knock down your bottles whenever you are sitting here and the driver is, I don't know, driving like a maniac. And the ISOFIX you have here with caps, but you cannot lose the caps, so that's a nice touch. And also here you just remove these and you have your other upper safety thingy, something macaroni. And here in the front, the first thing you notice is that you do not have seats. You basically have some lazy boys in the front. They are extremely comfortable, very wide, and you have a button here to adjust the front bit of the seat as well. If I push this, you can see everything is electric, and you have a tiny wheel over here that you change from adjusting this to the lumbar support, and now you can adjust your lumbar support and be happy and get over it. Of course, we have 4 handles, which you don't see on every car. And even though this is a fully blacked out specced car, it's nice that with the panoramic roof you have some light inside. So this is a nice touch. The steering wheel is literally the same as on any Volvo whatsoever. 2 cup holders, wireless charging pad, another 12-volt socket, and a very tiny compartment over here. And I like the fact that you can close them, and you can choose this either to be aluminum or a wooden panel, but actually aluminum and actually wood, so that is nice. Also, the seats have surprisingly good lateral support. I did not expect that from Volvo. And in this configuration you have leather on the interior and textile on the sides. and that's why you also have a textile material over here. The seats are with memory on both sides, and you can get them heated, ventilated, and with massage, but this car does not have those functions. And if my colleague gives me the key, not the phone. Thank you. Now I can turn on the engine. And if you take a closer look over here, this is the Volvo Sensus. So this is the previous infotainment system that Volvo had, and I do enjoy this even more than I enjoyed the Google one, because the Google one is very, very limited in functions. You have your driving modes over here: Eco, Comfort, Individual, and Dynamic. And if you come over here in the settings, My Car, Displays, and you have Teams. This you do not have on the new Google infotainment system. Give me the camera. Okay, you can see here you have glass, minimalistic, performance, and chrome rings. And on the regular Google infotainment system, you have nothing you can actually configure. It's just plain information, and that's it. And one last thing I want to tell you about is the sound system, which is not the Harman Kardon, is not the Bowers & Wilkins. This is the standard one, but you do not need more than that. Only if you're, I don't know, only if you have a very keen sense of hearing, and if you enjoy music that much, that's the only reason to buy the Harman Kardon. Other than that, the bass one is amazing, and you have 1, 2 on each door, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and here 9 with the center speaker, and underneath there's a subwoofer, so a 9+1 sound system. And come on, this is enough for a car. So we all know that on Volvos you have this arrow. This arrow points to where the hood opens, and the hood opens quite a lot. It's almost vertical, and I am 6 foot tall, or 183, depending on the system you use. So yes, I'm a tall person and I can barely reach it. So on the S60 you cannot buy diesel engines anymore. You can only buy petrol, mild hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and soon to be fully electric, but not yet. This is the B4. So the B3 is 150 horsepower, this is 197 horsepower and 300 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 60 is in about 7.9 seconds, and top speed is limited to 180 kilometers an hour, but that's a Volvo thing, because safety comes first. If you do not want wrong wheel drive, you can always get the T6 or the T8 that come in 4-wheel drive. So, and also with a lot more power. So yeah, in my opinion, this engine is more than enough, but for my personal preference, I would definitely go by the T6. Not the T8, the T6. That's my absolute favorite. In case you see me act weird, is because I have a mosquito in my car, and I hate mosquitoes. Everybody hates mosquitoes, or at least they should. Only frogs love them. So, Volvo S60, this in my opinion is one of the most well-balanced S60 you can buy, meaning the B4, like 197 horsepower, that's more than enough, more than anybody should ever need. And especially the fact that this is a car that's designed for comfort and to make you feel like home. When I went to Sweden to film the Volvo EX90, I stated that when you buy a Volvo, like the reason you buy it is to make you feel as comfortable and to give you the most homeish environment possible. So you would never want to exit your car. And that's exactly what Volvo did with all of them. Not necessarily with this one, but with all of them. So in this generation of Volvos, you get a lot of simplicity. But in the next generation, it just changed from simplicity to minimalism. And that's something I really do not enjoy, minimalism. So now the car is in the comfier setting. And yes, you have some body roll. It stays pretty low on revs, but it's still surprisingly dynamic. I mean, you realize that the car is very low to the ground, very close to the ground. And I mean, come on, I'm flying over here over bumps and stuff like that, and I can barely feel a thing. And if you wanna attack curbs, Volvo has something very impressive. The traction control setting on this car and any other Volvo is simply the best that I've ever seen on any vehicle. So a few months ago I had the Volvo S60, the T8, the one with 455 horsepower as a test drive car, and I went with it on the track. Yes, I went with the Volvo limousine on the track, and I can say one thing: the traction control is simply amazing. I think it's the best one in the whole industry. So the thing is that I was attacking corners, look, speed bumps at 40 kilometers an hour, all you need. So I was attacking corners with too much speed, especially to see how the traction control keeps me in lane, and I was completely stunned. So it starts understeering, then the traction control kicks in, and it does black magic, sorcery, stuff like that to the wheels of the car in a way that you always can keep the exact line that you want to keep. So that's beautiful. You can enter a corner at basically any speed, and the car will not let you go off track. It will just keep you in the exact line you want to go. You just need to steer. That's it. So now, because we're in the comfier setting, what else can I say? You get like a 1 second delay or something like that since you press the pedal until it actually kicks in. So 3, 2, 1. 2 seconds for the complete kick. And now we're gonna switch it to dynamic. You can already see that it's gonna rev up more than usual. We're gonna open the Draghi app, and we're gonna see how this car behaves 0 to 60 and 60 to 0. Okay, so now we're connected. I'm gonna put my phone back in the wireless charger, and we're gonna see 0 to 60. You're in dynamic mode. Why did you turn off my engine? So 3, 2, 1. A lot of wheel spin. Volvo declared 7.9 seconds 0 to 60. That's it. And we got exactly 7.9. I'm actually not surprised. At least they did not under-deliver. They delivered exactly what they stated. Good. Now we're going back to 60, and we're gonna do the 60 to 0 time, which I don't know. Nobody declares the 60 to 0 time. So in 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was very aggressive. 2.85. Yes, we do have summer tires, and yes, we have very good summer tires. We have Michelin Primacy 4. Those are the tires that I kept on my Volvo all the time. You don't need the Pilot Sports if it's not a performance vehicle. 2.85 seconds on a 40 meter distance. 40 meters is actually very good for 0 to 60. With winter tires, cars usually average around 55. With summer tires, they usually average around 40. And if they reach 50, either the tires are bad or the brakes are bad. Something's bad. And now that we've put the car on dynamic, let's see how it compares to the BMW 3 Series, for example. So the first thing you notice is that the steering wheel is not as precise. It doesn't give you that much feedback as you would initially want. but it's very direct and very responsive. So that's the first thing. And yes, it might not be as dynamic as the 3 Series, but at the same time, this is plenty. I mean, come on, this is plenty. And keep in mind that this is a car that whenever you go home and park it, you always take a look back, take a moment and admire it for a little bit, because it's that beautiful. It's that beautiful, it's that comfortable inside. It's all you need. Just get a different colored interior, not like this one. I don't like this one this much, but I would always prefer a tan or a brown leather interior. I do not like that you have to change gears left and right instead of forward and backwards. But I mean, come on. This is a car that does not find a need it cannot satisfy. I swear to God. Okay, the engine doesn't sound amazing. And it's not rear-wheel drive, but I mean, it over-delivers in almost any way possible. That's all I have to say. If you can afford one, just buy it. Just don't even think about it. Just go ahead and buy it. I told you, I prefer the T6. That's my weapon of choice, the T6. But this mild hybrid B4, wonderful, simply wonderful. And with that being said, like, subscribe, and drive safe.